If you were to die today, would the people you want to receive your life insurance's death benefit actually receive it? Or would someone who you no longer speak to receive it? Let me know in the comments your answer. And this is a really important question for you to ask yourself, because failing to update your beneficiary designations could leave your assets in the wrong hands, and not just your life insurance death benefit, but any of your financial accounts. And so this could create costly delays, confusion, and even legal battles during a time when your family is already dealing with the grief of your passing. And so in this video, I'm going to explain why keeping your beneficiary designations updated is crucial for your financial future, okay? And so if you are new to me or to the channel, welcome. My name is Katrice, and I am a licensed health and life insurance broker, a paralegal, and your wealth architect. And I educate women entrepreneurs and professionals on how to grow, protect, and secure their finances, and to build a financial legacy that they can be proud of. And if you are a returning viewer or subscriber, welcome back. All right, and so in today's video, we're going to go into one of the most overlooked but yet critical elements of estate planning. And that is beneficiary designations, okay? And while this is an action that is seemingly small, in the grand scheme of things, it is actually really, really huge, okay? And so whether you are just getting started with your estate planning or you are looking to fine-tune your strategy, in this video, I'm going to explain why beneficiary designations are absolutely vital to ensuring that your assets go to the right people quickly and without unnecessary complications, because what you really want to avoid is probate, okay? All right, so now when most people, when they think about estate planning, they think about wills or trusts, okay? But in reality, your beneficiary designations may be just as, if not more powerful, just as powerful, okay, as a will or a trust that ensures that your hard-earned assets are passed down accordingly to your wishes, okay? And the reason for that is that beneficiary designations, they override anything that's in your will, okay? So it doesn't matter what you have in your will as far as where you want things to go. Whatever you have listed on your life insurance policy, whoever you have, I should say, listed on your life insurance policy, that's who's going to get the payout, okay? It don't matter what the will says, okay? So just keep that in mind, okay? And so it's very important when you are making your designations that they go, to who it's somebody that you actually want to receive it, okay? All right. And so first of all, real quick, I want to just break down what beneficiary designations are. And so beneficiary designations, it is a document that tells your financial institution or insurance company who should receive your assets upon your passing. And so typically it's used for things like retirement plans, life insurance policies, and even bank accounts, okay? And so when you name somebody as a beneficiary, they have the legal right to that asset, whether or not you've included them in your will, okay? This is a huge advantage when you want to make sure that certain assets go directly to the right person without delay, okay? Beneficiary designations also skirt around probate, which I will get more into a little later in the video, okay? Now, real quick, we do still have the 21-day wealth mindset challenge going on. If you have not joined, you definitely want to join. August is the 8th month of the year. We have the 88 Lionsgate portal. So if you know anything about the 88 portal, it is a really important time for manifesting. And so if you want to call in more money into your life, into your life's experience, then you want to join the challenge. We're on day 7 right now, but it's not too late. The challenge registration is still currently open, but that will be closing on 8/8. So if you want to get in on the challenge, then you definitely want to go ahead and join. There's a workbook that is accompanied with it, and we go through the challenge together. And so the link to register for the challenge will be in the description of this video, or you can click the link on the home page to register as well. Okay? All right. So let's get back into it. Why are beneficiary designations so crucial? Okay? So you could be thinking, or you might be wondering, well, if I have a will, why do I need beneficiary designations? Okay, well, a will only works for assets that are in your name and they do not have a beneficiary. Okay, remember how I said earlier how beneficiary designations, they skirt around probate. So anything that has a beneficiary designation, if it does not have a beneficiary designation, then that stuff is subject to probate. Okay, but if it has a beneficiary designation, then there's no need for probate because it's going directly to the person that you want it to go to. So I know you've heard horror stories about how probate can drag on for months or even years. In another video where I touched on beneficiary designations, I gave a story about a guy I used to work with and how him and his family had been in probate for like 5 years. And it was just eating up, costing them, thousands of dollars, because nobody could come to terms with the dad's will. Okay, and so you want to always make sure that you can avoid probate at all costs, because probate really eats up the wealth that is meant for the family. Okay, and so you want to make sure that you can be as clear as possible when it comes to how you want your assets distributed. Okay, and so beneficiary designations are one way that you can be as crystal clear that this is who I want this asset to go to. Okay, nobody can dispute that. Okay. Okay, so without beneficiaries, it causes family disputes, and so you want to make sure you minimize that as much as possible. Okay, and so over time your life does change. Everybody's life's changed, and so you'll get married, you may get divorced, you'll have children, you may experience the loss of a loved one, and so these life events directly impact who should inherit your assets. And so if you don't update your beneficiary designations, your assets could go to the wrong person, or even worse, be split according to outdated terms, things that you don't want to happen. So you want to make sure you're always crystal clear with who you want to get your assets. Okay. All right. So let's talk about now. I want to talk about some common mistakes that you want to avoid when it comes to beneficiary designations. Okay. The first thing is that many people forget to update their beneficiary designation after major life events like a marriage, a divorce, or the birth of a child. And this is crucial because if your beneficiary is outdated or no longer alive, your asset could end up in the wrong hands or go into your estate. Now, if it goes into your estate, depending on how large your estate is, it could be subject to estate taxes. Okay, and so that's another thing that you want to keep in mind as well. Okay, And another mistake is not reviewing your designations regularly. Okay, you want to always make sure that you are reviewing your designations, especially after major life events, to make sure that everything is still the way you want it to be. Okay. Now, to ensure that your beneficiary designations align with your estate plan, the first thing you want to do is keep a written record of all your accounts and the designated beneficiaries. Okay, and so that way you know exactly what assets you have assigned for what person. Okay, and then once that is done, you want to take a look at your estate plan, whether that is a will or a trust, and verify that the beneficiaries listed there match the ones on your financial accounts. Okay. Now, you also want to be sure to consult with your financial planner and or estate attorney to make sure that your designations fit into your larger financial goals and strategies. And so if you have a trust, you may need to consider whether your assets should go to the trust or whether a named beneficiary is more appropriate, depending upon the asset. Okay. And so to ensure that your wishes are honored, you want to review your beneficiary designations annually or after any major life event. Okay. And so you want to contact your insurance company, any financial institutions where you have your retirement accounts, any checking or savings accounts, to update those. And I think that the people forget about checking and savings accounts, but you definitely want to have a beneficiary on those accounts, because if there's no named beneficiary, there's depending on the bank, there's a process that you have to go through in order to get access to those beneficiaries. You have to prove that the person who passed away, was your family member. Well, first you have to prove that they're dead, and then you have to prove that there is that they were some kin to you, how they were kin, and so there's a process. And so you want to alleviate that for your loved ones. You want to make sure that you have a named beneficiary on your accounts. Okay. Another mistake that I see people making is naming children as beneficiaries on their life insurance accounts, life insurance policies. You don't do that. Okay, unless the child is like 17, 18, at that point they'll be, of legal age, 18, they'll be of legal age, and they can, there'll be no issues. But if you're naming a baby as your beneficiary and you pass before that child turns 18, then the asset's not going to go to the child. They're going to have to get a guardian, and it very well could be a court-appointed guardian, somebody you don't know. You don't know if that person is going to have your child's best interest. There's many horror stories about court-appointed guardians not doing right by by the people that they are supposed to be making sure their well-being, taking care of their well-being. And so, that just opens up a whole nother can of worms. So please do not name minor children as your beneficiary. You want to name an adult, somebody you can trust, as the primary beneficiary, and then you can put the children as the contingent beneficiary. Okay. But you don't want to put children as the primary beneficiary. Okay. All right. So now, the importance of I want to really hone in on the importance of regular reviews of your beneficiaries. I kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, but you want to always regularly review your estate plan and your beneficiary designations. It's just like when you're doing your life insurance review, these types of things, a lot of people have them listed as, on their to-do list, and they can just check them off and, oh, I've completed it. And while, yes, that's great that you've done the initial plan, okay, you've gotten it initially set up. It's not a set it and forget it type of thing. Okay, it's something that it's a living document. These are living things. Your estate plan is a living document until you're gone. Okay, your life insurance is a living document until you're gone. Okay, and so you have to regularly review these things to make sure that they are still in accordance to your wishes. Okay, and so life changes fast. Okay, you can be here today and gone tomorrow, and so having your beneficiary designations reviewed annually can make all the difference in how quickly your estate is settled. Okay, a simple step that could save your loved ones from unnecessary stress when the time comes, because they're already going to be stressed, they're already going to be grieving. Having to arrange a funeral, if you've never done it, I'm going to tell you that's one of the most stressful things that you're going to have to do. Okay, I've had to do two for both of my parents, and it was very stressful, very stressful. Mom's was more stressful than Dad's because she went first, so that was the first time that I had to do that. And I have siblings, but I was the one, I'm the only girl, so it was pretty much me that had to handle everything. And when Daddy passed, it wasn't as stressful because I had already been through it, but it's still stressful nonetheless. And so if you can avoid piling on any other stress to your loved ones, then this is a great way to show them I love you and I thought of everything. And you don't have to, I don't want you stressing about anything. I've taken care of it all for you. Okay, this is one of the best ways to show them that you love them and you take care of them. Okay, all right. And so I hope that this video has shown you the importance of how important beneficiary designations are, and that it's not just a listing of a name. Okay, it's a cornerstone to any solid estate plan. And so if you have not reviewed your beneficiary designations, if you have not reviewed your life insurance, if you have not reviewed your estate plan, or if you don't even have any of those, then don't let another month go by without you getting that stuff in place. Okay, and so this is all about ensuring that your loved ones get the financial support that they need without delays, without confusion, and without any unnecessary legal hurdles. Okay, all right. And so if you have made it this far, thank you so much for watching. My goal is to always to provide practical, actionable financial advice to help you to take control of your finances and your future. And so if this video provided you with value, then give it a like and share it out with your business bestie or your water cooler homegirl who needs to hear this message. All right, and so also subscribe if you want to continue to learn how to grow, protect, and secure your money. And don't forget to check the description of this video for additional tools and resources if you want more guidance outside of the content that I provide on this channel. Okay, and so if you would like to book a complimentary consultation with me to discuss your insurance or retirement needs, also if you want to discuss how you can protect your assets as well, your estate planning needs, you can do so using the link in the description of this video or on the channel homepage. Okay, all right. And so remember, the way to secure your financial future is to protect it now, because tomorrow is not promised and nobody's going to do it for you. All right, have a good one. See you on the next video.